Number two, understand what you will do and what your SEO agency will do.
Yeah.
So this is kind of really basic kind of scoping
Yeah.
out of a service, but it's really important. So for
but
instance,
it's overlooked. It's a misstep.
yeah. So one thing to consider in this is who's actually going to produce the content, who's going to write the words if you're doing a content program. I mean, it might be that if you don't articulate that in the beginning, then it might be that the SEO agency is like, no, we're just going to post it and do SEO edits on it, and you're supposed to write the content. So now you got a big problem where if you expected them to do it and they're telling you to do it. So make sure you know, for instance, who's doing the content. And I would even expand this to how they're going to report to you and how often. So are you going to do one monthly call that's 30 minutes and you're going to use the tools you described to report in? Or are you going to do a video update once a month? Are you going to do by week, every 2 weeks strategy meeting? Are you going to have a bat phone where they can call you at any time they want to?
Yeah. Are you going to be on call 24/7?
I mean, there are all kinds of arrangements, and the important thing here is to set up an expectation. The worst on the client side is when you expect a certain amount of availability for your agency partner and they really didn't expect that. So if they expect the bat phone to call you at any time and throw a meeting on the calendar at any time, that might align with expectations for what they're expecting.
That's
so
right.
At the very beginning, it's really important to say, this is how often we're going to meet. If we're meeting at all, this is the nature of the meet. This is how long it's going to be. And these are the people that are going to attend the meeting.
That's right.
And,
that's right. And other things like who's responsible for things like your domain hosting. If your website address is paid for with some credit card that goes out of use because it expires,
right,
and that's the client's fault, well, letting your website go down for some extended period of time because you didn't pay for your domain, that's going to hurt the performance of your search engine optimization. And it may be something that was never within scope of your SEO agency. So it's kind of putting them in the category of, treating them as omnipotent when they're not. So scoping that kind of stuff out, thinking about it, even asking questions like, hey, what are the things that could break and get us sideways with each other that we can identify before we start working together?
Yeah.
And a good SEO agency, a company like us that's been doing this for 10 years, we're gonna do what I call pre-ass kicking those kinds of problems. We have an intake process where we're gonna shut all that down and neutralize those threats.
Awesome.
So check in with us if you want services. Next step.